Out. All right, there we go. Jay Lawrence away. Jay and Matt Eggleton. Jay and Matt away along with Pete Byers. Pete Byers to try and squeeze in there as well. Good work from Pete. So last time it was Jay, Pete from Shane and Bremer and Matt Eggleton. So Matt Eggleton, who's out in third at the moment, but under some pressure. Look out for the 24 of Jeremy Holmes in there, along with the 14 of Dave Freeman, the polka dot man. Was with us, of course, for the hill climb on Thursday. Go to Graham McNabb, Brian Stevens, Shane Hildred with Norm Beard and Andy Strachan that time. Remember for our post 95 as well. My apologies. The post classics pre-95. Kevin Goddard, Alan Henry, Gary Cottrell, Gary Burrows, Gareth Hamill and David Hamill. They are our 5 finishers, or what is 6 finishers, correction, in that pre-95 class. Love looking at that TZ of Kevin Goddard's. So we can look at that all day. He's certainly the best of those. He had a convincing margin of 53 seconds over second place last time. That is an absolute thrashing in anybody's terms. That's almost an entire lap here at Teretonga. So hard to admit it, but Kevin Goddard is good. All right, here we are, back to our racing. Oh, Matt's got it this time. Matt Eggleton, wow, some changes up there. The man, he started in third. He's got the advantage. He leads him going over the Mobile 1 lap score line here. Matt Eggleton, the advantage over Pete Byers and Jay Lawrence back to the third place. Nothing to be panicking about. Jay didn't lead when they were at the 1 lap mark in the last race either. So he's now going to see if he can wind the clock up and come back with vengeance. Somebody, for some reason, it is a long way back here, meaning that these 3 riders will be rounding on their tails super quickly here. As we look out, there's Jay trying to fight his way back. And there we go, looking for Jay. He's going through the Macaulay Ford S's, looks to have had the advantage, so weaved his way past there. So looks like we're seeing Jay Lawrence making the moves and moving up on the competition. He first of all was in third, then's gone to second. Will he be in first by the time they come around? We'll have to wait and see. So it was Matt Eggleton, Pete Byers and Jay Lawrence, the order when they went across the line at the end of lap number 1. Pick it up for the end of lap 2. We've got 5 laps to go at this point, so some track to cover out here, and looking out for Jay Lawrence. This man should be in flying good form. Yes, there he goes. He's out in front already. Go to Pete Byers. So we've turned our field. We're completely around. 1's gone to 3, 3's gone to 1, and 2 stayed in the middle. So the top 3 have just flipped a coin and reversed themselves. And Jay Lawrence has gone from third up to second and now into first place. We've still had the holder position for Pete Byers, but unfortunately for Matt Eggleton, he's the one that's gone from first back to second and now in third place, and they've spread out a little as well. Look at the buffer between them, not as tight as it was before. So Jay Lawrence in front and in control outside of Pete Byers. Go to Matt Eggleton, looking at that 4th place. Don't lose sight of the 4th place. It's a very good advantage there in the pack. So looking for that 4th as they come through, which should be Shane Bremer in the field, Glenn Strachan up there. And then, of course, going to Kevin Goddard with the Race Supplies Motor Extreme man there on the Yamaha TZ250. Back to 6th overall, but more importantly, first in class. Check him out. That is the 148 bike out there that we watch with interest. So we've got a pre-89 open group here, courtesy of MPE, Maclay Precision Engineering. And then we go to this Fuji Xerox sponsored post-classic pre-95 group. We had some excess entries in this group, but unfortunately people like the local and John Rawcliffe having too many problems with the bike, so the JRL tuning men unable to make it to the start line this weekend. So John, a great visitor to have in the North Island for the Suzuki International Road Race Series. He made his first ever trip to circuits like Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park, Taupo International Raceway, and Manfield, the circuit Chris Amon. So good to have him with us, but unfortunately his bike problems haven't been able to be rectified in time for the Burt, and he's missed out on his hometown event. But look out for the tall timber of John Rawcliffe. I know John will be back. All-round nice guy here in beautiful Invis, so check it out. All right, MPE, Maclay Precision Engineering, post-classic racing, and a pre-89 class. There we go, Jay Lawrence in flying good form. 4 for Pete Byers. 2 to 8 for Matt Eggleton. The 44 of Shane Bremer. The 3's just hanging in there from Kevin Goddard, so 3 to go with Glenn. Strachan or Strawn, depending on which family you're in as to which way you pronounce it. I've certainly known of those that have had it spelt identical and have pronounced it a different way, Strachan or Strawn. But anyway, Glenn, he's got that part right. So he's on the Yamaha SZR 1000. 1000, but right on his tail there for the fast and flying 250 now. How does that feel for an FZR 1000 rider when you've got a bike only a quarter of the CC displacement behind you? So you're going as fast as you can on a 1000cc, and it's a 250 keeping up with you. So that's amazing. But of course, that's the difference between a production-based bike and a Grand Prix bike. Effectively, there's plenty of SZRs on the roads in New Zealand, but there weren't any TZs, of course. They were an exclusive racetrack bike. Effectively, a MotoGP bike versus a World Superbike, to give you an idea of the different domains that they would have come from if you were to use them in a comparable time today. So MotoGP bike, the TZ 250, they were effectively the Moto 2 equivalent, and then you had the superbike of the FZR 1000. It's not that it was called an FZR, of course, in its day. It was the Yamaha OW01 and other names to have gone alongside it, but Yamaha to the fore in World Supers from that era as well. People like Tony Rees, who are here today, of course, he was an OW01 pilot. So too was the likes of Andrew Stroud. Andrew with us for the Burt, helping the ACC with their Shiny Side Up tour. So nice to have him, and shout out to Team Stroud. An exceptional family of talent that we've enjoyed for many years of racing. Andrew and the legacy of lovely wife Karen and the kids, and of course we've got Jacob to compete today, but unfortunately hasn't been able to finish today. I see on the Facebook update that Joe was making the road trip as well. We've had Jesse through the Suzuki International Series, and I'm sure he'll be back with more NZSBK for Hampton Downs coming up in what is now 4 weeks today. 4 weeks today for the next round. There we are, checkered flag to wave, and there it is. So well done out there to Jay, Pete and Matt. That will be there. All Shane to get there. And now hopefully the TZ. Here we are with that wasn't Kev. There we are, Glenn, and there we are with, he couldn't quite get there, man. If Kevy had done that, I'm sure Glenn wouldn't have been a happy camper, but doesn't matter. Very close times. More importantly, for this post-classic pre-1995 era, that Kevy Goddard has absolutely smoked that field, and on a tiny 250 as well. So well done to him. His second closest rival, Alan Henry, is way back in 12th place, and yet he's in 6th. So all the others are from our pre-89 class. So if we use that as the forerunner and to get an idea of this group, I think we'll be able to just see where the others were. Alan on the Ducati 750, so a 250 Yamaha two-stroke beating a Ducati 750 SS, of course, that's the twin. So there you go, pre-95, this brand new post-classic class. Post-classics had previously ended at 1989, but now we've added another 6-year pocket in there by taking them out to 1995, which I'm sure is going to see post-classic racing in New Zealand grow for it, and so it should do too. When you get TZ Yamahas, we want to see a few more of these. I'm sure they'll be sitting in race factory garages around the world, not being able to do so much in their country. Maybe the New Zealand market might have an appetite to have a few more of them on board. Great part of our sport. So well done to Jay Lawrence. Came home there ahead of Pete, and Matt ahead of Shane this time. Glenn was in there, and I didn't see the finish for Jeremy. In fact, I don't even know whether Jeremy had made the start on that. Maybe not. So we'll see what the results show. So no, he's not even listed in the DNS field. So a bit of bad luck there on that beautiful Marawaki Honda. So local man Jeremy Holmes. Jeremy has been a very, very busy man, helping out many of the Australians that have been over here. Southland Honda's been inundated with them, including Eric Webber and Michael Kirkness, to name a couple. So nice to see the local businesses looking after international riders. Alrighty, keen to get up to our program. Still to come F1, F2, and of course our classics. Staying right here with us.